Good afternoon, my dear students. I am Mrs. Parvati, PGT Physics, Holy Hearts Educational Academy, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Today I am with the topic another application of Ampere's circuital law to find magnetic field due to a solenoid. What is a solenoid? A solenoid is nothing but it consists of a long insulated copper wire which is closely wound to each other and in the form of helix. You know helix? Helix is like this. If you extend these rings so long, that is called helix. So solenoid is nothing but it consists of an insulated long metallic wire, copper wire generally we take, closely wound in the form of helix, and its length is very large as compared to its diameter. That is one of the important property of the solenoid. Its length is very large compared to the diameter of the solenoid here. Right? So a solenoid, you know that in the last application, in the application of Biot-Savart's law, we know that when a conductor is carrying current, it produces magnetic field. The magnetic field at the center we have calculated already, right? And we know how the magnetic field is arranged due to the coil carrying current. We can determine the direction by using right hand thumb rule here. If this is a thumb here, curl finger shows the like this. So at every point, if you take, the magnetic fields are circular rings at every point, perpendicular to the current carrying conductor, like this. This is the magnetic field, this is the magnetic field, this is the magnetic field, and so on. At every point, the circular rings are there. The magnetic field lines we can represent due to the current carrying circular ring. So if these rings are connected with each other, so there are many rings here, right? How do the solenoid produces magnetic field? How to calculate the magnetic field produced by the solenoid? That we are going to do now, right? So a solenoid pattern I am showing to you. It is like this. This is a solenoid. You see, these are the turns like this. Okay. And the magnetic field inside that air is there. Here I am not taking any medium. Inside that coil, inside the solenoid, there is only air. Okay. So if you observe carefully, the magnetic field lines are circular loops here on both the sides, edges of the solenoid here. And the direction, according to the right hand thumb rule, the magnetic field lines in each turn and neighboring turn are opposite to each other. So the resultant magnetic field outside the solenoid is very weak. But inside the solenoid, if you observe, all the magnetic field lines are in the same direction. It will be added up. The field is strong inside the solenoid. Once again I repeat, since they are according to right hand thumb rule, we decide the direction of the magnetic field, and these direction of magnetic fields are outside of the solenoid, are opposite to each other. So the resultant field is weak, very weak. But whereas inside the magnetic field directions are in the same direction, so the field is strong inside the solenoid here. So there is one point which may be asked in the board examination. How do you get the uniform magnetic field in the solenoid here? Uniform and strong. For that, the windings must be wound on between the windings. The distance between two windings is 0. It should be very closely wound. Then the field produced by the first winding and field produced by the second winding outside the solenoid will be equal and opposite. They cancel each other. Only the inside field will be left here. So inside field will be uniform and strong will be there. Uniform and strong magnetic field is nothing but here. The lines of force, that is magnetic field lines, are equidistant and parallel here inside the solenoid. Okay. So condition for getting the uniform magnetic field inside and outside 0 is nothing but the windings must be closely packed. closely wound. There should be no distance between every two windings. No air should be there between, like this. There should not be air. I have shown you to explain, but actually there should not be any gap between two windings here. Closely wound to each other without any gap, so that the outside the field is equal and opposite to each other, so they cancel. Only inside will be in the same direction here. It is very strong and uniform here. Okay, so how to locate the pole of the solenoid? Solenoid means bar magnet. It will behave like a bar magnet. See the bar magnet field lines you have studied in 10th class also here. They start from North Pole and they close at South Pole here. You know how to locate the poles also. If the current flows anti-clockwise, that edge will be North Pole. If the current flows clockwise, then that edge will be South Pole here. Okay, so this is about solenoid. It is carrying current. We have connected the two ends to the battery here, which is not shown here because you have done already in your 10th class. Okay, now here this is a solenoid. Pattern of magnetic field just resembles as that of the bar magnet, right? Bar magnet here. Now how to calculate the magnetic field due to a solenoid? For that, this is a general form of solenoid. Take a loop, Amperian loop. Let total number of turns in the solenoid are capital N. Small n is the number of turns per unit length. Number of turns per unit length of the solenoid. And number of turns per unit length of the solenoid. And capital N is the number of turns. How much current is carrying by the solenoid? Each loop is carrying I current. There are how many loops are there? How many turns are there? Each turn I current. There are how many turns are there? Capital N. So what is the total current? N into I. Okay, in this way we have to calculate. So considering a loop PQRS, Amperian loop, in which the three conditions obey, we know three conditions. Let us see what are the applicable here for each arm of the loop here, each side of the loop here. For that, according to Ampere circuit law, we know that P2Q, first we will calculate the length of the path. P2Q B dot dl, Q2R B dot dl, R2S B dot dl and S2P B dot dl is equal to mu naught into total current means I into N. See here, I into N, where N is the total number of turns in the solenoid. Okay, so what is B dot dl? Integral P2Q B dl. See here, this is B in this direction. We got it just now. We have described. And B is like this. DL also along length here. B and DL are in the same direction. So that is why the angle is 0. Theta is 0. So I have written here B dot DL cos 0. Then this line. See here, what is the angle between this B and then DL? DL is like this. 90 degrees. So cos 90 I have written. What is the angle between R and S here? 180 degrees. 180 degrees. And what is the angle between again S to P? 90 degrees here. Here I would like to discuss one thing. We know integral BDL, P2Q, BDL only I will write. But here in second case I will write 0. Why? Cos 90 is 0. In third case also I will write 0. Why? Cos 180 is minus 1 but I write 0 only. The reason is, just now I explained, the outside the solenoid, the magnetic field is 0. B is 0. Of course, integral DL is not 0, but B is 0. That is the reason B dot DL is 0 in third case. And fourth case again 0 here because 90 degrees cos 90. So mu naught I into N. This is the formula. Integral BDL is equal to mu naught I into N here. So now what is the value of integral DL? What is the value of integral DL? Integral DL is nothing but what? 2 pi r. The radius of the loop of the solenoid here. So that loop, I already told you, if you start from here, Amperian loop, so DL1 plus DL2 and so on, the whole DL means perimeter, circumference of the coil of the solenoid. Each turn of the solenoid is how much here? 2 pi r, but that particular area, okay, that length here, okay. So that is why I have written here B integral dl. Integral dl meaning is B integral dl mu naught in B into integral L. That is integral L. What is the meaning of integral L here? 2 pi r you can take, but what I have taken is only particular length here. Particular length. There in circular coil 2 pi r we have taken. But here I would like to tell you, here I am taking only the Amperian loop. What is the length of the Amperian loop here? PQ. What is the length of the PQ here? Capital L. See here. Length of the PQ is L. If you take the number of turns, that is different. Okay. But here I will take only length of the loop. Okay. Integral dl means here this plus this plus this. What is the total length? L. Don't take 2 pi r. That's why I have said is don't get confused. For a circular coil I will take, but I have taken only this loop here. So that is why length of the loop, only this P to Q I have to take. That is L only I have to take here. Okay. So here L, B dot L I will take, B dot L, and B dot L, B into L. B outside, it is constant and uniform. That is why B is outside. Okay. Then I will write mu naught I into N, B into L, mu naught into I into N, or we will write B is equal to mu naught I, capital N by L. That is number of turns per unit length. What is the formula? Small n. Small n is the number of turns per unit length of the solenoid. So I will take mu naught I into N by L, that is mu naught Ni here. If you want to increase the magnetic field of the solenoid, in place of air, insert an iron rod whose permeability is more, then the formula becomes mu naught into mu r into N into I. On what factors B depends? Number 1, medium in which the solenoid consists inside. Magnetic material, iron you take, soft iron. N is the number of turns per unit length, and I is the strength of the current here. In this way we will find out the magnetic field due to a solenoid. Once again I would like to repeat, don't consider that total length is 2 pi r perimeter. We will not take in solenoid, only to make you to understand I set. But here I have to take the Amperian loop from P to Q. We are integrating. PQ to Q is only the length of the PQ, that is capital L only we are supposed to take. Okay children, then in the next class we will do toroid and practice this derivation. See you, bye bye.